Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we are going to be going over the new best settings for season 3 of Vanguard. With the brand new settings, I dropped you guys a nasty V2 rocket on the new Mayhem map, and so today's gameplay is a pretty banger gameplay. So if you guys do enjoy this video, a like is greatly appreciated. If we can get like 100 likes, that would be awesome. And if you're new and you want to see the best Vanguard content, make sure you hit the subscribe button with the notifications on. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Okay boys, kill confirmed. Hopefully we can get a nuke on here. Usually spawns on kill confirmed are a little bit wonky, but I feel like we should be able to pull something off. Oh yeah, we got some cheeseburgers in here. We got the nasty M19 class. This thing, oh my god, it's insane. Like if I'm ever trying to get a V2 rocket, I will use this class. Like, do you see that? Oh my god, get turned on. Okay, we got the trophy system, the new one. Dude, how am I not dead? There we go. Sorry, teammates. Had to steal your kill. You took too long. Jesus. Oh my god. There we go, boys. Okay, it's actually really difficult to figure out where these enemies are at. That guy could not jump up. He was struggling. That was funny. So we got one guy coming up behind me in a second. Got a couple over here, okay. Oh, we got a whole posse of them. A little orgy, okay. Dude, this thing. Insane TTK. I think there's a guy directly above me. Oh, they have decoys. I was like, why do I see so many dots? Like, this is so trippy. Okay, we're on the 11. Kind of close to the nuke somewhat. Local reinforcements, this should help a ton.
Shot's good. Keep it 100. Keep it real.
Hello?
Good job.
Dude, get me out. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is like too hectic.
Just clowning around.
Dude, what was that? Okay, all the enemies know about that spot and they're all just flooding there, which I could stay there, but I'm like decently close to the V2 rocket. Okay, 3 more kills for the V2. Jesus, teammates, they're scary. There we go, we just need a couple more kills. Oh my god, if I died there, I would have actually lost it. Knife. There we go, boys. We got the V2 rocket. Leave a like for that. Let's freaking go, boys. V2 rocket with the new best settings of season 3. Let's freaking go, boys. I'm popping off. Oh my god. Honestly, you know, I thought it was the gun or it was like me, but I think, you know, it's just the settings. That's why we're doing so good. It's just the settings. Settings do everything for you, totally, right? Whoa, you're not dead? Jesus. Oh! Maniac. You know what? We might actually be able to get a double V2 here. Maybe not, though. Oh my god, we're breaking ankles. Ah! Dude, they're so quick with that. Jesus, they are speedy. Speedy men. Boys, we're close to the V2. I mean, yeah, we're close to the second V2. We're not going to get, like, the medal because I... Oh! No, we're worried on... Oh, what? Oh my god. Cheeseburger. We're not going to get the medal, but we can go on, like, a 50 gun streak. Dude, my teammates are so good that they're just killing all the enemies. Dude, that guy gets close to me constantly. No! Oh, that guy's on X Games mode. We almost got the 50 gun streak with this gun. Oh my gosh. So I was going to do a top 5 best class setup today, but I might do that tomorrow if I even do one. I just saw a lot of other YouTubers already make top 5 best setups. And so let me know if you guys want to see one, but there's already like a lot of videos out there, so I don't know if I really want to make one. And so tomorrow's video for sure will be on the new AR, like best class setup and stuff. I'm gonna try to get an atomic tonight, and then maybe I'll do a top 5 best class setup, maybe, if you guys want it. Okay, let's try to focus up. Let's get, actually, you know what, let's just call in this V2 because the game is about to end, and I just want to call this in before the game ends, just in case. Yeah, get nuked. X Games mode. Dude thinks he's in the CDL. No. Why is it so quiet? I don't hear the countdown at all. Can I see the nuke drop? Oh, okay, you cannot, unfortunately. Let's go, boys. Okay. Curious how many kills we got. I don't think too many. Oh, 82 for kill confirmed. That's honestly not that bad. If I didn't call it in so early, we probably could have got like 100. Get nuked. GG's. Check out the YouTube channel, Cbass on YouTube. No. What do you mean no? For these settings, boys, okay, so I'll be going over the graphics, the audio, and the controller settings. And then just to start things off, so I play on an Xbox Elite V2 controller. Really recommend you guys get this controller. It is, in my opinion, the best controller on the market because there is so many settings that you can do in like the Xbox app. It's kind of hard to describe, but you can like change the response curves. You can adjust the tightness of each thing. You can swap out the stick super easily. The paddles on the back, oh my god, they're like perfectly aligned to where your fingers would be. Extremely sensitive, kind of hard to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's super nice because of how sensitive they are. And then a lot of other controllers, I noticed they have the paddles like right here. The Elite has them on the side, so you can just play like this instead of playing like that. And so in my opinion, this is like the best controller on the market. And then I play a controller on PC, so a lot of the graphic settings are going to be like based on your PC, but I do play on low end, so I'm assuming all these settings should work for you guys. So to start things off, for the controller settings, the sensitivity I play on is 6. I recommend you guys to play on a slower sensitivity. Most of the pros do play on a slower sense, and you guys will see in the gameplay I turn on a lot of people. I have like just enough like sensitivity to where I'm not going to be too slow or I'm not going to be too fast. If you guys play on a high sensitivity, you're going to miss lots of shots, and you really don't need a high sensitivity unless you love to snipe. With that said, we're playing on 6.6. I think a lot of other content creators on Vanguard play with like 3.3, 4, 5, maybe 7.7 max. I haven't really seen someone play on anything past 7, and so I recommend you guys to find one between like 3 to 7. For the ADS sensitivity multiplier, I usually like this to be a little bit slower, so I like to look around really quick, and then once I ADS, I like it to be a little bit slower but not too slow, and so for me, I really like that 0.9. For the custom sensitivity per zoom, I just leave all these normal, but if you guys want, you could turn this on and then just adjust them to all the values. You know what, I'm actually going to go through and make everything very consistent. There we go, we got a 0.9 for everything, so it should be very consistent while I'm ADS. And then for the button layout, since I have an Xbox Elite V2, I just play on default. If I'm playing claw, I'll just play on default, which is where you have your pointer finger on these buttons, and so instead of playing like this, you're playing like this, and then it makes it so you don't have to move your thumb off the joystick onto the buttons, making it so you can do like advanced movement in the middle of a gunfight. Say you don't play claw and you don't have a fancy controller or anything for the controller, then I recommend playing tactical, or I believe bumper jumper. I would watch another video on these just because I'm not too experienced, but I think a lot of people like bumper jumper or tactical. And then for the vertical aim on foot, these ones don't really matter. Keep all these the same. Controller vibration, make sure you have that off. Might feel a little bit weird at first, but once you're used to it, it is way better because it's not going to be shaking in your hands, so you can hit your shots a little bit more consistently. For the weapon fire threshold, make sure this is off. This is huge. Make sure this is off. Say you have it on, it's literally going to have a delay when you pull the trigger to simulate real gunfire, so just make sure that's off. For the advanced controls, I have that on instant. ADS sense multiplier steady aim 0.9 defaults, and then for the controller orientation up, I don't think these matter at all. And then for the dead zones, you guys probably know about these, and so it's controller specific. For my controller, it's a 5, and so this works out for me. It's going to be different for you, and then so you can leave all these the same, and then we can go over to the gameplay. Target aim assist, I like to have this on, and then I just use the default personally. I know some people like the Black Ops Cold War one because a lot of people play Cold War and Vanguard, so they want to stay consistent between the two games, but for me, I don't really play Cold War, and so I just keep it on default. And then for the ADS aim assist, make sure that's on. Obviously, I have this on ADS plus melee. Weapon mount movement exit, these ones don't really matter. Have that on. For the automatic airborne mantle, make sure you have this on, and then keep this one off. I don't know why, but it makes the slide cancels way more fluid fluently. And then for the mantle stance, I have this on off. Automatic sprint, I am always slide canceling around the map, and so I like the automatic tactical sprint. If you don't slide cancel, then I would just keep that off, but you should definitely learn how to slide cancel. Always gives you the edge. And then I'm pretty sure the pros play on automatic sprint because the automatic tactical sprint is banned in the CDL. And then for the auto move forward, I have that on off. Sprint cancels reload, I make sure you have that on. Sprinting door bash, make sure that's on. Parachute auto deploy, that is going to be off. For the action behavior, if you slide cancel a lot, make sure you do the tap. Actually, just in general, make sure you have the tap, it helps out a ton. And then for the ADS site behavior, I have that on hold. I think a lot of these don't really matter. Oh, okay, for the interact / reload behavior, make sure that's on prioritize reload, and then you guys can just read on that right side what it means. And then for the scoreboard behavior, that doesn't matter. And yeah, all these don't matter at all. And so now let's go over to the audio settings. So for the master volume, I like to have 85. For me, I notice it kind of makes the effects a little bit louder, like all the footsteps if you ever hear any, and then the gunshots are a little bit louder when I have the master volume a little bit down, and then the sound effects volume maxed out. And then I don't want any music volume because I am a sweat, and so I don't care about the music. I just want to hear raw gameplay, so I have that on off. And then show more, I just have this on 100. Mute game when minimized. Okay, these ones don't matter. For the audio mix, you guys want to do headphones or home theater. I recommend playing like a few games on each one and use whichever one works best for you. If you don't have a headset, you probably want to do like TV speaker or something, but if you do have a headset, try out headphones and home theater. Pretty sure these ones don't matter. And I think that's everything for the audio settings. Now let's go into the graphics settings. The graphics are going to be a little bit different for me than for you because I do have a pretty good PC, and so I can run whatever I want. I don't really have to run low settings to get high frames, although I do run a general low settings just so I do get more frames, but I have a couple of things higher just so the videos look better and stuff, but I'll explain those when we get to it. For the first tab, display, so on the monitor, I play on a Asus TUF like 24-inch. I know a lot of people like the 27-inch monitors, and so if you do play on PC, really recommend the Asus TUF 24-inch or the 27-inch monitor is phenomenal. I keep the VSync off. Frame rate limit, I have mine on custom 250, 60, 30. For the menu, it doesn't really matter. I don't want my PC working hard when it doesn't need to. And then for the gameplay, my monitor goes up to 240 frames, and so I have this at 250. And then for the aspect ratio, I have this on automatic. For the brightness, this is going to be monitor specific. And then these ones don't matter. HDR, I have that off. Focus mode, make sure you have this off. And then display adapter, yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's go over to the quality. So I have mine on custom. Render resolution, make sure this is on 100. You don't want anything higher or lower. Well, on this game, you actually could do 110. Honestly, I think when I first started playing this game, I did 110. Made the game look a little bit better, so I think I'm going to try that out again, but it doesn't really matter. Dynamic resolution, I have this on off. Texture resolution, if I wasn't recording videos, I would have this on medium, but since I'm recording videos, I want to look a little bit better, so I have this on high. Texture filter anisotropic, I have this on very low, very low. Low, this is just so we can get the most amount of frames. I really don't care about the game looking good, and even with these low, it still looks almost the same, and so I just like to keep those low. For the bullet impacts and sprays, make sure that's on. Shader quality low, tessellation off. Level of detail distance range, I like this to be on, so if I'm at like a long distance engagement, I can really see the enemies, and so even if I wasn't a content creator, I'd make sure this is on so I can see the enemies a little bit easier. For the nearby level of detail, I actually like to have this one low. You don't really need that on. I don't know why that was on high. Distance level of detail, I like this on high just so I can see the enemies a little bit better at range. For the clutter draw distance, if you guys look at that picture, I'll zoom in. So if you have this on short, the flowers aren't actually like fully there, like the leaves aren't there, but when you have it on long, the leaves are there, so it's actually a little bit harder to see the enemies when you have this on long, so I like to have this on short. For the volumetric quality level, I have this on low. Shadows and lightning, I have this on. So for the shadows, I like to have the shadows on, so if I see an enemy walking around the corner, I can sometimes see their shadow first, but I don't really care about the quality of the shadow. I just want to see the shadow. For the shadow map resolution, low. Sun shadows, low. Off, low, low, low. So yeah, you guys can just copy all those. For the ambient occlusion, I just keep this off. It makes the game run a little bit better. For the screen space reflection, I have that on off. You don't really need that. And then I don't use the NVIDIA DLSS. I do not use that. Okay, so make sure you guys have the fidelity CAS on. This is actually huge on the game. It's going to make the game look phenomenal. It's going to be so much easier to see the enemies. Previously, I had this on off, but the second I turned this on, oh my god, it was so much easier. And then you just want to show more and turn this up to 100. It is well worth it. For the anti-aliasing, I usually like to have this on off, but this game makes you have it on, so I just have it on like the lowest, and then I just put it on medium. Low makes it look a little bit weird, so I just do medium. For the depth of field, make sure this is on off. It's going to make the visibility of the game a lot better. And then for the VRAM usage, okay, that doesn't matter. Let's go over to the gameplay. And so for the field of view, so a lot of pro players, I believe they play on like 105 because it's a lot easier to hit the enemies when you have a lower FOV because you're going to be more zoomed in, so it's going to be easier to hit the enemies. If you have a 120 FOV, everything everything's going to be zoomed out so you can see more of these sides, but the objects on your screen are going to be a lot smaller. And so I noticed for me, I do way better with like 115. I might even lower it to like 105, but it makes the game look a little bit nicer when it's at 115. Pretty much I recommend not doing anything lower than 100. Find your happy spot between 100 and 120. For the camera movement, make sure this is on at least 50%. Make sure you guys do not have the blur. It's going to make the game way easier to see things. And then for the NVIDIA Reflex low latency, I have this on plus a boost. And I think that is pretty much everything for all these settings. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Hopefully these settings help you guys out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you guys enjoy season 3 of Vanguard.